Okay. Then to close, you can just press.
Just mentioned that it's better to have a close button probably because use this is not. Some people don't like to use this to close.
Yeah, so maybe we can rename the cancel to just close. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, the next thing I wanted to. Okay. So this is the code for a menu item. But before I go into it, I want to just for it to appear in Dragonfly, you need to restart it. So you can just close it and restart it. But this time, instead of using the run button, I want to use the debug button. And the difference is that you will be able to use debugging features after. So for now, just start it with the debug mode, and I will explain a few different concepts. Wait, I heard my name? Oh, yeah. Okay, so for most of you, maybe it didn't start. So in PyCharm, if you go back to PyCharm and you select this button, the view breakpoints, it's under the stop button. If you click on it, you should have this Python exception breakpoint. Just uncheck it. And then press done. And you should have this button enabled. So then you can just press it to continue. Okay. Oh, I think you restarted. Okay. I think it's here. Yeah. Good. Press this one. Press the second one. Now. Okay. Yeah. So now, if you right-click anywhere in the application, or like in the display or on the menu, now you should see a new option. So this is the synchronized position with other views. Okay. So right now, if you select it, it doesn't do anything because we haven't actually programmed it. But this is already appearing in the software. Okay. So the idea with this menu item is a feature that Rosa asked yesterday, and it's the following feature. So if I open some data sets, so the walnut, and I go to the NPR views, the feature Rosa wanted was that if I move the legend here, she wants the legend to also appear in the same place in all 4 views. So the way I think it should work is I move it somewhere, I right-click on it, and then when I click synchronize position with other views, it should synchronize all 4 legends. So that's going to be a menu item that we can do that's easy to understand and useful for you guys. Okay. Okay. You can press this. No. So you don't see anything because you don't have it. But no. So yeah. You're okay. Is it a different laptop? Or is it the same information? Okay, it's maybe because you don't have a dedicated video line. Oh, here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, can you go back to text and can you go to oh, interesting. Okay. No, it's I'm not sure why. I'll have to. No, it's not detecting the video, so I'm not sure why. I'll have to look later. Okay, so, but for now it's okay. Okay, so does everyone understand what the goal of the menu item is? Okay. So now what we want to do is when I click on this button for it to actually work. Okay. So if you go back to PyCharm, this is the template. This is the template that you can use for your menu item. So in the beginning, we always put the user information. And so you can see that here we use the special string with the free quotes. And this is used for documentation. So now that we know what we want to do, we can enter some text to explain what we want to do. So this menu item is for synchronizing views. Synchronizing legends across different views. Views in okay. 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 And so let me just see. Okay. Perfect. So for now, this these lines I will come back and explain to them later. But I want to introduce the concept of class with Python. So for those who've never done object-oriented programming, a class is a definition for an object. So an object, it can have like different variables associated with it. For example, like this data set. In the ORS model, it's called a channel. And what makes it a channel is that it has like an X, Y, Z size, the spacing, and it also has different methods. And so, for example, I showed you earlier that I can get the title for it, and that's a function in Python, but it's specific to that class. So it seems since you guys are okay with object-oriented, I think I'll just continue. So in Python, you define a class with this keyword and then the name of it. And then in between the parentheses, these are, this is the base class from which it inherits from. So this synchronized legends with other views, this is a class, and the parent class is the contextual menu item. And this class is defined in one of our packages. So in Python, you can import and use different packages with these keywords. So in on your computer, when we install Dragonfly, the Python packages that get installed that Dragonfly uses, you can find them in C, program data, ORS, Dragonfly 35, and Python. And so here is all of the Python code that ORS uses with Python. If ever you want to know how we do a user interface or how we do certain commands, you can look in our Python code and see how it's organized or how we've done it in the past. And so, for example, for the menu item, this contextual menu item is from ORS service class .menu items contextual menu item. This is just a syntax for importing packages. So if you look, and I'll just move this to the side. So this package, ORS service class is over here, and there's the menu items, and so in Python, the different files are called modules, and then from this contextual menu item module, we imported this class called contextual menu item. So if you want to see what's inside this definition, you can right-click on it and say go to declaration, and it will bring you to the definition of this class. Yeah. Okay. So I will close this for now, the contextual menu item. I will close it and open PyCharm again. Okay. So, yeah. So to define your class, you have the keyword class name with the name and which base class it inherits from. Okay. And then a colon. And for this class, for the menu items, you just need to fill in the blanks. And so, okay, so before we define a function with def get, like before it was define say hello, but here it's get is selection valid. So if you want to define a method for the class, you just add the same syntax, but just an extra space below. So if I minimize all of this, this class, it has 3 different methods, and this is how you can define them. Here in Python, this is a decorator. Or okay, maybe I should ask: has anyone programmed in Python before? No. Okay. 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 So it's a special keyword. So normally in program, I guess I can make this bigger too. Settings and font 20. Okay, is this better? Okay. Okay. So here there's 3. Okay, this class method with the @ symbol. What this does is it takes this function and tells Python that it's a static method. So you don't need an instance of it. So this is just Python syntax. What should be useful for you is to fill in where it says like put your code here, and I think this one too. Yeah, this one doesn't say it, but this one is important too. So in Python, when you have a function, normally it's good to put documentation with what this function will do, and what is the input parameters. So here, the input parameter for this function is so this function get a selection valid. This will be called when you right click. So if I right click, it will ask the class, is the selection valid? And if it's valid, it will appear, and if it's not valid, it will not appear. And so the goal of this was to synchronize the legend. So we should only show this option when we right click on a legend. So here you can see when I right click on the view, I have all of these options: 3D, XY, synchronize. But when I right click on the legend, there's only the synchronized position with other views. So this means that these other options here, they are not valid when they are on the legend. So maybe we can do something similar. Does that make sense for everyone? Everyone following?
Questions?
Yeah.
So when the user right click, the program will check all menu item classes and check every class if it's valid. Select is valid, and then choose the one who are valid. Appear to the menu. Another question is that can we go back to Python for the class method? So the keyword class method is a keyword of Python or of Dragonfly?
The keyword of Python.
So it's keyword of Python. Okay. And you say it's a decorator. I think decorator is kind of a unique feature of Python.
Yes.
So can you tell us a bit more, like how many decorator we use with Dragonfly code?
Yeah. Okay. So so the decorator is actually a different Python function. So what it does is actually, okay, so this is a bit of more advanced concept, but so let's say I have my function. Let's say I create a new function that is yeah, I'm not sure. Let's say decorator, or okay, I guess print state before calling. So if I can create a function. Okay, wait. So I guess the short answer, or to answer your question, is basically this. What this actually does is the class method. It's a function, and the input parameter to this function is this whole function, and it can modify the behavior of your function. And so if I wanted to, for example, log something, I can maybe create like a logger, define logger, and then like do something, like not do log something. What I can now do, if I implement this properly, now I can do at logger, and let's see. So the input parameter, I said it was a function, and you need to return a different function. And so this class decorator, it's basically a way to modify and add extra features to your function. So we use it in for other things internally, not for logging, but for the macro player and other infrastructure events and features. But yeah, I will show you when it's appropriate. But this is what this feature is, like these class decorators. You can create your own decorators and do some very interesting stuff with it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so class method is Dragonfly's decorator, or is general decorator of Python?
It's a general to Python. Okay. And not logger. Okay. And so here in the get a selection valid, we already have some example code. And here we use these three strings, the special string, and you can also use this as a comment. So here right now, this code in between these three quotes will not be executed. So this is just an example. So in the past, so if I remove these and put this in comment, so this is an example for checking to see if, okay, I guess one more detail. Like when I right click on the menu, or right click to get the menu, the thing that I right click on, like for example here I'm clicking on the display, and here I'm right clicking on the legend. This is a list. When I do the right click, the object below is passed into this collection of objects. So, for example, if I, yeah, okay, does that make sense for everyone so far? Okay. So for now, I will just undo everything, and maybe I will show you. Okay. So in PyCharm, you can add a breakpoint by just clicking on the side. And what this will do is, when Python will execute this code, it will stop here. instead of executing. So now, when I right click, that didn't stop. Okay. Wait. I guess I forgot to check this. If you put a breakpoint here and you right click, does it stop for you? Okay, so it's because now it's stopping. Okay. Okay, so I think there's something I need to change on this computer. So I will close it and just restart. Okay, so it seems like you guys don't have to do this, so ORS. Okay, just one moment for me to change this. ORS. App services. Okay, so you don't need to do this. It's just because this computer is. I think there's a bug somewhere. Okay, so now on my computer it works. So when I tried to right click, nothing happened. But down here you see it flashing, and now it's stopped here. Everyone got to this bar. Is everyone here now?